What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah?
What's going on, Puff? I'll have returned to you on the off chance that JD ain't had enough, better believe it. Janae Lord of thee, if you were to ask me, child. I mean like around the local we dance. And sing a tad, yet I mean. We truly got into it a ton when we met Shine DPR Maker. The dark hole of upsetting Diddy charges is getting more insane continuously. In reports surface that Feline Williams found Diddy and Jermaine Dupri were both purportedly prepping and abusing youthful male craftsmen, including crosswise one of the Bumble individuals, Chris McDaddy. Kelly passed on from an OD in 2013 entails are circumventing that his substance compulsion was set off by some injury he went through as a kid star. We as a whole realize that accounts like this one are not uncommon in Hollywood, and numerous kid stars fell into habit subsequent to being implored on and damaged. Think Orlando Brown, Jeanette Messer, Corey Feldman, Amanda Bynes, and numerous others. Now these reports about Jermaine Dupri doing something unseemly to mismatch are not precisely new. Anyway, a video has of late reemerged where Feline Williams got down on both Diddy and Jermaine. And presently fans are saying the whole media outlet is based on prepping misuse. And dealing yet what precisely Katt'd say about Jermaine Dupri and Diddy. And it confused Mad Daddy truly OD. Due to the injury he went through, how about we get into it? I got told, pup. I don't allow men to take me out, sir, I'm Grace. So to give you some setting, Kris Kross turned into a mega effective hit bounce team when they were just 12 and 13. Chris McDaddy Kelly and Chris Daddy Mama Smith were found by Jermaine Dupri in 1991. And only 1 year after the fact they detonated onto the scene with their monstrous hit hop. The tune was in a real sense wherever controlling the board Hot 100 for quite some time straight, and went twofold platinum as a solitary confound proceeded to deliver 3 studio collections, which were all created by Jermaine Dupri, and made gigantic business progress. Their most memorable collection, completely crossed out, came to multi-platinum status, while their second and third were insured platinum and gold. Separately, there's no question that Jermaine Dupri had an ear and eye for ability, since thanks to him, Confused turned into the most best and most youthful melodic demonstration of the mid-90s anyway. There's one more side involved. And after Chris McDaddy, Kelly passed on from an OD in 2013, upsetting bits of gossip began circling that the young men were prepared and conceivably disregarded during their beginning of their vocation on April 29, 2013. Chris was found oblivious in his Atlanta home and taken to the clinic. He tragically died 2 days after the fact at age 34, and his family affirmed to the police that Chris had a broad history of medication. The next day, Jermaine Dupri a letter to fans and said Chris Kell resembled a child that he never had to the world. Chris Kelly was mama, daddy, yet to me, he was the child I never had, Jermaine said. When I consider it, I invest more energy with Chris and Chris than damn close to anyone in my entire life. So you can envision how terrible this damage is anyway. When Jermaine showed up on Vlad television in 2018, fans thought his response to Vlad's inquiry concerning Chris passing was bizarre. He didn't know precisely how old Chris was, the point at which he passed on, and he additionally got truly uneasy. When inquired as to whether he stayed in contact with Chris and afterward, one of the individuals passes no at a not just later yet years after the fact. Better believe it, he passes at an early in life. Was it 30-something? Definitely, I suspect as much. Did you see that approaching at all? Were you all still in contact? No, I didn't. I didn't see that approaching. We was in. We had recently did the 20th commemoration, so it resembled we had quite recently begun, having a ton significantly more exchange about them going on visit and doing different things after the 20th commemoration. Obviously, this is imply that Jermaine did something to Chris anyway. The bits of hearsay basically would not disappear fans began going through old meetings of Kris Kross from the mid-90s and brought up that in their most memorable media appearances, when Jumble previously exploded, Chris Kelly appeared to be extremely cordial and brimming with grins anyway. A couple of years after the fact, he appeared to be broken and miserable. In pretty much every meeting are as yet our companions. Then other portion of our classmates are envious, and afterward, then you have a portion of your classmates fire admiring you, saying that they need to be like you. And they going to begin their own gathering and stuff like that. And will you help me out? One fan remarked those young men were unnerved and damaged. I see past the surface, and someone else composed they look so lost and damaged. I can envision what they needed to go through, to the extent that being in the business, the tales about Jermaine, either doing something to mismatch or permitting others in the business to do it, keep on coursing for quite a long time after Chris Kelly's demise. And at one point Jermaine tended to these claims and applauded back at an Anna fan since erased IG post, saying definitely a long time back you wearing crosswise, even had a claim which they won, yet it was kept from the general population. Anyway, Jermaine immediately terminated back, you should be out of your effing mind. I ought to sue you for composing this rude on my page. Out of here now. No part of this is genuine proof that Jermaine did anything to the befuddle young men. After this is a commonplace talk at whatever point you have a youthful craftsman being coached by somebody a lot more established and strong in the business. Anyway, this particular talk has endured, and some portion of the explanation is on the grounds that Feline Williams approached and openly called Jermaine the P word. As a matter of fact, he called him the ruler of peas. Back in 2011, a video sprung up showing feline freestyling, and feline came for everybody, including Diddy Jermaine and Steve Harvey. What's going on, Puff? I'll have returned to you on the off chance that JD ain't had enough. Definitely Jermaine die ruler of the if you were to ask me child. Currently you'll concur that what whistled Jermaine is likely the most horrendously terrible thing that you can call somebody. Anyway, Jermaine never addressed Feline's remarks or taken steps to sue him like he undermined that irregular fan on Instagram. Then again, the vast majority thought Feline was high on something when this was recorded, and nobody truly treated him in a serious way. So perhaps Jermaine thought it wasn't even worth tending to. However, at that point the story took one more turn when Bow Wow, who was likewise tutored by Jermaine, beginning at age 11, added more fuel to these reports in 2018 when he tweeted this: Yo, Jermaine Dupri, on the off chance that you don't answer my call, I will tell the world that you in clear space. So considering these new cases about Diddy purportedly dealing his craftsman, fans are beginning to look sideways at every one of these strong and compelling industry figures. On the off chance that you missed it, Diddy's previous guardian, Gandio, as of late spilled that he saw Diddy saying he needed to get Danity Kane individuals snared on medications and pimp them out. He stood up there and he said, before many individuals we were in the studio, and I expressed something to him and left the studio. He said, yo, I'm a drug they're off, and got them and pee them out to my pip them out to my __. He said, I'm a drug them out, I'm a get them generally on medications, and I'm a pimp they're out to my I resembled no someone children. And afterward, obviously Cassie committed a huge part of her claim against Diddy to stealing, claiming that Diddy constrained her into experiences with male laborers, which he most likely coordinated, and revealed. Fans are presently estimating that regardless of whether Jermaine himself effectively bubble young men, he could have presented them to things they shouldn't have been presented to at that age, similar to what ended up guiding and Puffy Flavor Camp. And afterward, there's additionally the way that some industry sources guarantee that J. Pinkett Smith made the most of Chris Kelly when Chris was either 14 or 15. These charges came from rapper D.O.D. Dillinger, who worked intimately with Tupac and produced this collection, All Eyes on Me, in a 2021 meeting. Does guaranteed that Jada had an entrapment with Chris Kelly back in 1993 J-Pick, was ensnaring she was trapping with Chris Kelly from Mother Confuse, 'cause Kris Kross was in the room. And he resembled Jada Pin is at the entryway, yet don't leave take this weed chill, we like Dan Mother provided us with an ounce of weed going to kick it here. Then he